Hi, good day everyone. I'm Rovelyn Y. Del Monte. So today, let's talk about understanding and cultivating eco-literacy. But before I proceed, I have here a short video or short song na magkakaroon tayo ng ideya kung ano nga ba yung tatalakayin natin ngayon.
Wala ka bang napapansin sa iyong mga kapaligiran? Kay dumi na ng hangin, pati na ang mga ilog natin. Hindi nga masamang pag-unlad kung hindi nakakasira ng kalikasan.
Darating ang panahon, mga ibong dala ay wala nang madadapuan. Masdan mo ang mga punong dati ay kay tatag, ngayon'y namamatay dahil sa ating kalukuhan. Lahat ng bagay na narito sa lupa, biyayang galing sa Diyos kahit nung ika'y wala pa. Ingatan natin at huwag nang sirain pa, pagkat pag kanyang linawi tayo'y mawawala na.
So, alam naman natin na there is a lot of children na mas na-expose sa technology, online games like that, at hindi na pinapahalagahan yung kapaligiran or wala na silang pakialam sa kapaligiran. No? So, when children don't go outside and spend much of their time staring at the screen instead, it may result in shortened attention span, decreased problem-solving skills, also obesity and other issues with their emotional and physical health. So Richard Law referred this phenomenon as a nature deficit disorder. So to address this disorder, we have to influence the children to connect with nature. So as a future educator, kailangan natin silang tulungan upang mas mapalawak pa nila yung kanilang kaalaman pagdating sa nature or pagdating sa environment nila. So, ma'am, what is ecology literacy or eco-literacy? Jones 2018 highlighted how nature works. He professed na we are connected to one another. Every living things and non-living things is related sa ating buhay. Life is all about connection. A waste to one may be a blessing to another. So, are you guys agree that we are part of nature? So, yes, we are part of nature now. May kasabihan nga na sabihin nga tayo na don't go against Mother Nature. Na kung ano yung ginawa mo sa ating kapaligiran, ay ganoon rin yung babalik sa'yo. Ecology literacy or eco-literacy is a term first used by American educator David Orr and physicist Fritjof Capra. So, from the word itself, literacy, it is ability to write and write. And mayroong reading comprehension. While ecology, it is the study of the relationships between living organisms, including humans, and their physical environment. It seeks to understand the vital connections between plants and animals and the world around them. So, yun nga, eco-literacy is the ability to understand Eco-literacy is the ability to understand nature along with the systems that make life possible. It is understanding that the principles that govern ecosystems, making sustainable human communities possible. So, according to an American physicist, Fritjof Capra, nakasalalay raw ang ating kaligtasan sa kapaligiran. Kasi nga, we are connected no? Hindi tayo mabubuhay ng walang living things and non-living things as well. So, sinabi niya dito na dapat may kakayahan tayong maunawaan ang principles and kung paano natin ito may papamuhay. As a future educator, napakahalaga na turuan natin ng mga mag-aaral tungkol sa environment. No? We as a future educator, kailangan nating tulungan sila na maunawaan kung paano sila konektado sa kalikasan at ang epekto nila dito. This kind of education or pagtuturo ay makakatulong sa mga mag-aaral na gumawa ng responsableng pagpili or desisyon na magpoprotekta sa ating mundo or sa ating nature. So, everything we learn and teach has an impact on how we see our place in the world. Eco-literacy is far fostered when teachers integrate an inquiry-based approach on developing students' understanding. So, ma'am, what is inquiry-based approach? So, it is approach where students actively pose questions, investigate, also and seek out knowledge to satisfy their natural curiosity. So, examples of inquiry-based learning include observational field trips, science experiments, and hypothesis-based research projects. Sa pamamagitan ng environmental education or EE, mas natututunan and mas naiintindihan ng mga estudyante ang nature and environment na kinabibilangan nila. Dahil sa natututo sila, nagagamit nila yung mga natututunan nila in a positive way and nakakatulong din sila sa community na kinabibilangan nila. So, teachers achieve local significance through contextualized and authentic tasks like having real-life problems that students must resolve. After all, sustainability is not an end, but a continuous journey where teachers and students play key roles in the process towards achieving education for sustainable development. So that's all. Thank you for listening. I hope you have learned something. Bye.